Is this thing rolling? We're back. Season 2. Let's fucking go. We got a special guest in the studio.
Cut it. Cut it. Cut it. Cut it.
This is way too high. You need to cut it. This Rex is way too high. You need to cut it.
If you can't take pressure, then you're not a diamond. I push through the struggle and level up out of my pain. Cause I got a fire inside me that cannot be tamed. Yeah.
Welcome back into the vortex we call Higher Talk. Last time we talked was 2020, guys. It's been a journey since then. We got cakes in the studio. I'm so fucking happy and grateful to be here. I got one of my best homies. You lit, okay?
Yeah.
So I know the last time the last time we talked, it was so long ago, and there's been so much that's transpired since then, so I can't wait to get into it. But let's just get this fucking show started. Season 2, episode 1. Let's fucking go. Welcome into the vortex we call Higher Talk. It's a vibe. The mission and goal of this show and company is to bring to you roundtable conversations with expert minds and share ideas and ideals that will innately elevate your life. And like, not just your life, like in the business world, but like spiritually, it's mind, body, soul over here. Like the mind, you know, you're gonna learn some shit, you know, that you could take and apply to your businesses. The body, you know, we healthy in this motherfucker. We actually made some homemade pizzas, so that was a vibe. So, very excited to eat these motherfuckers, but first we're gonna roll up. Shout out to Raw, as always. Hey, we got Patty Raw out.
You know.
Period. We're gonna be rolling up some pre-rolls today. So I know we haven't done this before, so I want to start something new, something traditional on Higher Talk. So before we get into this, welcome, Patty.
Thank you.
Welcome into the studio. I'm so happy to have you.
I'm happy to be here.
Patty is literally one of the best artists I know. Not only is she musically, like,
Like Terrio.
not only is she musically like inclined and like doing her fucking thing, and bro, like this year for you music wise, wow, I'm
Yeah,
really
same.
fucking proud of you. I really think you're proud of you. And she's just an artist. Like I got some of her art on my wall. Like she does so many things, but this is Cakes. Hi Cakes. Hi. Welcome.
Happy to be here. Grateful to be here, always and forever. Yeah, thank you. That's really kind, honestly. I'm always like, anytime everybody gives me compliments, I'm just like, thank you. Because I'm just like, I'm really not shit. But no, yeah, definitely. This year has been a lot for me, and I feel like even just like stepping into my own power, essentially, and really being like, you know what? Yeah, I am the shit.
Period.
I am the shit.
You are. Like,
You
you
know?
are. Like, we're actually gonna. What? We're gonna roll up. We got 2 joints that Patty's gonna roll up. I'm gonna do an oracle pull. So if you don't know what oracle is, Google it. Really, it's just like, I don't know, some people get into tarot and stuff like that. We're actually gonna have Patty pull a tarot card as well, which is gonna be a vibe. She brought her cat tarot.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like, what's up? Oh, yeah, there's. So yeah, Google it if you don't know what oracle is. I'm gonna do an oracle pull, just to kind of like, I want to start every show with just grabbing, you know, what energy that we can talk about. We're gonna spend maybe 10 minutes talking about it, and then Patty will do an oracle or a fucking tarot, and yeah, it's gonna be a vibe. So Energy for Higher Talk, Season 2, Episode 1. Alright, I feel like this is the one right here. 35, accepting the past. I I love this because our topic today is about being chosen and like what that means to us and how we see that. So accepting the past, let's just read from the book, but let's see what they got to say about accepting the past. Alright, wait, 35, which is actually 8, which I love, so, okay. That might go over some people's head.
Yeah.
So the essential themes of this card is accepting that we cannot change or avoid our past experiences, affirming that we are not defined by the past, and learning how to forgive ourselves and others if realistically possible. Pay attention to the realistically possible. There's just some things that you have to let go and let God. So, you know, forgive for yourself, you know. The deeper meaning of this card is we all have scars. We all have emotional imprints. We all have experiences in the past that have shaped us. Most importantly, we have survived the past, whatever it may be, and we will continue to do so.
Thank you.
Period.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it says the suggestions for action and accepting the past is this. Acceptance doesn't always come easy. A great factor in the acceptance process is self-forgiveness. I speak from experience that holding on to spite, resentment, and negativity towards others does little to propel an empath in life. This can take years to come to terms with, as can the process of self-forgiveness. When it comes to feelings of regret, but it's truly unattainable goal. Like, you really can't forgive yourself. Like, I've done it. Like, I've done some things to myself that, you know, I'm like, damn, like, I can't believe you would do that. But at the end of the day, it's like the mindset at the time when, you know, it comes to these scenarios that we put ourselves in and, you know, that life throws at us, you know, self-forgiveness is most important because really that's all forgiveness is. In the end of the day, like, you can forgive somebody as much as you want, but it's never gonna actually, like, you're not gonna heal from it unless you, like, go within and, like, forgive your part in whatever it was. Like, you can forgive somebody for whatever they did, but, like, you, like, finding that inner forgiveness, that self-forgiveness within for, like, your role that you played in that, like, maybe allowing someone to cross a boundary that you set for yourself and you stood on 10 toes, you know, but for whatever reason this time you didn't, and like having to forgive yourself for not acknowledging the, I want to say I don't even want to call them red flags, but like the flags, the awareness of what was happening in the moment and neglecting that inner guidance and going opposite to that, and then having to now go back and actually like forgive. I love this card, you know.
Because the past deals with a lot of like who we are, it shapes who we are, and I feel like a lot of people, I also heard like the act of like comparing yourself to others and whatnot, when in reality it's all a part of your journey. So your past is so much a part of your journey that having to understand it, accept it, and then continue to understand it, continue to accept what happens and experiences that teach you. That's a huge part of it. So I think the past is really a huge part of being chosen, a huge part of your journey, a huge part of your path, and what shapes you to become you and a better you every single day.
Facts, like juice. Juice. A lot of people ask me what juice means. Juice is literally like the end product, you know, like drink that shit, hydrate yourself, nourish yourself. I don't know. Juice, bro. Like when somebody say it, like, I guess it's the same as saying sauce. You know, like, damn, she got the sauce. Like, I got the juice. You know, Chance the Rapper. You don't know? Well, good luck.
Good luck.
Go look it up. Bet. So you want to do a pull?
I do, and I'm going to also do the same thing, just the energy for both. Let's see what we get.
Don't mind Smokey, he's also a part of the vibes per usual.
The vibes are.
Oh, 3.
So, this is the
I will let you read it, but this is fun.
see, and I'm not even like.
Because we're talking about accepting the past.
Oh yeah, we are talking about accepting the past. This is good. But we got the 3 of Swords, and these are all upright. The 4 of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, or coins, I guess. My cards have pentacles. Which I know this one is definitely talking about the past because it's like the card of getting hurt, betrayal, pain, which deals with a lot of like the past. But that's also accepting, because I feel like when you accept that you've gotten hurt,
Your heart's wounded.
yes, you
The
know?
3 of Swords, a wounded heart. But, you know, like in this card it's depicted, there's rain, the cat is crying, and like,
it's like a very hurt card. Like you've been
Yeah.
hurt, you've been betrayed, you've
Mourning.
been stabbed.
almost,
You've
yeah.
been stabbed.
You've been stabbed.
But so much of the journey is how you take that inner pain and turn it into something that could be tangible, even for something like healing the masses, you know what I mean? Which for me in my music, like that's what I intend on doing. And sometimes I even say like, oh, I took one for the team so that I could write about it, and then, you know what I mean? But like, everybody goes through something, every single person, because that's again part of the journey. So, we're gonna get hurt no matter what, like that's life, that's just life, you cannot escape from it. But what you can do is you can control your reaction to it, and how you go about thinking of the situation, or how you even understand that it's really important.
Yeah, the role it's playing in your life and the journey.
Okay, and then I'm not really sure about these cards. I do know that the coins card is obviously more about finances opportunities, so.
The 4 of Pentacles is stability and holding on to what you have. You know, being smart with your money is kind of how I see it. That's the 4 of Pentacles to me. I think it can be interpreted in many different ways. So like with 3, you know, the 3 of Swords and then the 4 of Pentacles, there's alignment here, 3, 4, and then we have the Knight of Pentacles, which is like, that's pretty cool because like when you think of a knight, you think of like forward movement, you know, going to give an offer. So when you think of like the 4 of Pentacles and holding on to what you have, the Knight of Pentacles to me is forward movement in that pentacle that you were holding on to so tight. Because look, the 2 at the bottom, so in this picture, I'll show you guys. If you can see it, there's 2 pentacles here on the bottom of his feet, and then there's a pentacle he's holding on to, and then 1 on his crown. Pentacles, diligent, patient, reliable, and steady. Sometimes deeply absorbed in his work because that fear. It's fear. Ooh.
Well, I guess it also touches on letting go of the fears, which is a huge part of being chosen and journey and all that.
Yeah. So in short, what being chosen, let's just get to this. What is being chosen? For me, I think there's so many people going around saying, oh, being chosen is this or that, or I'm the chosen one that God, no, like, yeah, what Smokey said, okay. Like, for me, chosen means you were selected in your bloodline to make this shift. And everybody had the same opportunity, but you made the choice, which made you a chosen one.
Right.
Because not only did everybody have the same opportunity to get these gifts, you know, in order to elevate in whatever way their gifts were to elevate. Like, we all get our own. Like, we are all one of one. carries our own codes that is gonna ultimately elevate the vibrations of this planet, and you have to choose if you're gonna tap into that higher vibration or not. And that's what I feel like I am the chosen one of my family, of my bloodline, because I am choosing to tap into that and grow and change the history. Like, not from the past, because I've accepted the past, but to change the history moving forward.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and for me,
Like I said.
For me, yeah, I mean, honestly, to touch on that too, it's kind of the same thing. Being chosen is, because so many people can be, what's that one like phrase where if you give a man, you can take the man to the water.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make the horse drink.
So it's kind of like the same thing where it's like, oh, so many of us are like, oh, chosen and chosen and all this, but are you actually willing to put in the work that is required of you to be in this position, to prepare yourself for this position, to heal yourself from the past, to accept the past, to move forward into the future with this new energy? Because it is possible, it is attainable.
Absolutely.
But are you choosing to do that, like she said? You know what I mean? So then that answers the question of, are you chosen? Can you be chosen if you so choose? You can! You too can!
Can you be chosen if you so choose? Juice. Can you be chosen if you so choose? Because, like, here, take this joint. I was like blindly handing you that, so like I'm just like listening, but you know when you're like doing things and you realize you're doing something else,
Yeah.
but you're focused on listening, which is rare for me. Higher talk. Yeah, today we're smoking on some Bubba, which is, I'm really excited. We rawed out. We got the raw ashtray, we got the raw rolling tray, we got the raw rolling papers, we got the raw bucket hat, we got the raw bandana.
And we got the raw ladies up in this.
Period. Okay, raw girls. Damn, I should name it. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Higher top, let's go.
And do a little like come get higher, higher top. Come get higher, higher top.
Can you write the jingle for Higher Top?
If you want me to, I can.
Can you sing it? I want it to be Cake's voice.
I got you. We'll figure it out. We can do a little.
We can talk about it. We'll talk some
Talk about it.
Talk about being in
Hold
there. No, so like, I want to ask you, Patty. Like, let's have this discussion, right? How did you know, like, as Cakes, how did you come to knowing like you were chosen? Like, how did that begin?
I think for me, it's also just like the path that my life kind of led, and it's like the people that were put in my life for sure too. But it was all kind of like internal lessons, and really through meditation and like through really like tuning in. It was a matter of just like messages that I received, you know what I mean, from other sources, and they continued to like appear and transpire in like the physical, where I would receive certain messages of just like, okay, wow, you're meant to do this, and everything just kind of aligned. But I would say the first initial moment was a meditation, and it was where one of my guys, it was to the point where like I was already meditating, and I started kind of like really experiencing the really like in-depth meditations, and one of my guides was just like, you're a healer, and I don't know what that meant. So I was like, what does that mean? And we figured it out.
So you sat down with yourself, took time, and received the message that you were looking for. But how did you come to that? What did you ask? Like, did you ask like, show me a sign, or like, what? In that moment, were you just having a conversation with yourself, and you know, through just having that conversation with yourself, like your guides were answering your questions and it being like, hey, look, this is why we placed you here. You know, we see you as a healer. So how did you get to that point? You know, like meditation, like, I guess there's this preconceived notion about meditation. So what was your meditation like? Because sometimes when I sit down, like when I got my download for what my mission was, it wasn't through just like a sitting meditation. So.
No, it was all little things. Like I said, like the first initial thing was people being led into my life to be like, oh, open me up to certain ideas, to certain like aspects, certain beliefs. And those in itself opened me up to whatever, to where I was able to like really tune in. So I started, when I was like 13 years old, and it was one of my best friends and her mom, and they really opened me up to a lot of the like meditation and this and that, and you know, tying it in with like religion too, because I come from like a Christian family, you know what I mean? So it's like everything kind of tied together. And at that time, it was answering some questions I had at the time when I was young, where it was like looking for the answers of like, what is this world? What is this life? You know what I mean? Am I gonna just like die and disappear? Like, you know what I mean? Like I used to like cry. I was just like, my mom would be like, well, why are you crying? Because I don't know if this shit's real.
Yeah.
Like dead ass.
Yeah.
And it just, see, I'm over here talking to you.
It's okay.
And it just kind of like slowly came to me type shit. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it.
You received it when you were ready.
Exactly, and I think like that's the thing about being chosen is you don't really ask for this, and some of this stuff is it's not fun. It's not all sunshine and rainbows.
Absolutely not.
The shit sucks, and sometimes you see some things that
accepting the past.
Literally.
It's gonna through
like
swords.
Getting through the fears or even like conditioned beliefs that you were made to believe. That was the biggest thing, like the conditioned beliefs.
So did you grow up religious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Like super Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, it was like tuning into spirituality was like, okay, this feels right, but at the same time, I have to get through the fears and like also the external kind of like noises of like, oh, don't do this stuff because
this is right, this is wrong.
Exactly, but you know, as we continue to learn and grow within your spirituality and your spiritual journey, like again, things will just naturally align. Like things, you will come to know these things as they're meant to come, because that's your path, that's your journey, that's why you're chosen. So I don't like there was never like this aha moment, but it was just like little things that led up to each other, to one another. But I guess the aha moment in terms of like where I knew that I was meant to help the world is when I got that message through meditation when I was a healer. But before that moment, I had like that moment came when that was like in 2020. So from 13 years old to 2020, like we had to go through this shit. You know what I mean? So like, and there was a lot that happened in that time.
Okay.
So to even get to a point where you can meditate and like see things so clearly, so much work.
Because we met, how old were we?
High school, so yeah, like 14, 15 maybe. 14, 15, 16. And then, ooh, the weed got me going.
Jeez. That should never just hit the back of your throat. Y'all didn't even just see what just happened.
That's what she said.
I was shaking ass. Yeah, I love when it hits the back of my throat, but sometimes it makes me
You
choke.
know?
But yeah, so we met like through mutual friends and just been rocking with each other. Like, I think we really came in. I'm talking, so if you could just chill. We came into union, Patty and I, after my first event. Like she literally believed in the vision from jump. Like she never doubted me. Told me she would show up, and she showed up. She showed up, and you know, people like that matter to me because not only like we talk about accepting the past, and like when I was younger, I spent a lot of time like hanging out with my friends and stuff, and like bonding and making food and doing things like that. So it's like when someone believes in you and sees your vision and they show up for you in real life with it step into that vision with you, it's a different energy. Like there's just things that you can't, like it was meant to be where she was meant to come there to see that. I was meant to do that event for her to be there to see that. You know what I mean? So it's like a full circle moment always, but then she's like, yo, I got my own thing going. So tell them about like your journey, especially like in the music industry, and like why is it so important to be when you know you're chosen? Because like any artist is chosen, right? A lot of us creatives know that we are chosen to follow this path, this unbeaten path, you know, to open our minds and perspectives to, because like you grew up very religious in the Christian sense as well, and a lot of my mom's background is like that. We're more like the hippie vibe though, so but the same like standards, you know. And while you know my mom was very free spirited and she allowed me to be myself completely, it's just like that full circle moment is like I'm high.
Sponsored by Raw.
Shout out to Raw for sponsoring the vibe.
No, I mean,
like
I get what you're saying, though, or get what you're, I guess, trying to say too. Because growing up like that, it's not necessarily. Smokey, I know you're trying to get in the conversation too. But it's not necessarily like the norm to go and per se do these like free spirited things when you're growing up in like a, I guess, Christian type of thing. But again, when you know you're chosen, it's like there's absolutely no way that you're not gonna do it, because if you don't, it's like I always just say, like, if I don't do this, I'll simply just pass away. Because it just doesn't feel right. Like it feels like I have to continue to do this. Like it is literally my mission, and I will like. If I don't do this, then I don't know what's gonna happen, but I want to find out, or we're not going to.
no, because you receive, you know, like here's the thing, you could call it God, the universe,
Whatever you want to call it.
whatever
Your source, whoever you pray to, meditate to.
But that inner knowing, you know who you're meant to be, because you wouldn't have seen that vision if it wasn't meant for you, if you have not already experienced that.
Yes.
You know, and whether that be energetically, that you just need to match that vibration to get to it, or really just believe in yourself and be able to see different perspectives and take a step outside of from what you were raised traditionally to do and accept. Because like spirituality, like it's so like it's so mainstream now, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like, bro, but you know when you know.
You know when you know.
You know when you know, and you know when you know is you know you know. And it's time to know you know. Because you know when you know, and you can't tell anybody else how to know what they know, because everybody's different. So you won't know when you know. But once you know, you gon' know.
And if you know what we're talking about, then you know. The people that get it, okay?
Right.
No, but for real though, and it is so mainstream, and I feel like a lot of people may even have certain like negative connotations about it sometimes if we're coming from like a different perspective, or all these religions or this, that. But y'all, like Brittany said, like we're all humans having the human experience, but we all have a connection to source, whoever source may be for you. So when we sit here and talk about who source is for us, and that may not be source for you, that doesn't mean that we're completely disregarding your source, because everybody is to a specific belief.
You have to listen to your own intuition.
Right.
Like, and if you don't got it, bro, like, you gotta find that. You gotta find
Tune
that.
in.
Like,
Tune in.
only you can do that. Like, nobody else can do that work.
Nope.
And I don't care. Look.
We ain't Captain Saber Hawaii.
Hell nah, bro. Like, for real.
Try that. Doesn't work.
It doesn't. You can't. in general with like everything that's happening in the world is just like, okay, like people want to say whatever, but all it comes down to is family.
Literally.
All it comes down to is family. And when it comes to the divine, and like people get so obsessed with the divine, and it's like I'm obsessed, but like in a healthy way.
Yeah.
You know, like it's an obsession where it's more not, it's more of like a path.
Mm-hmm.
And when you follow your path and listen to your divine guidance within, it's the unity of masculine and feminine. And we talk a lot about this.
We do, because it's so important. And the world nowadays is just so, everything's so flipped around, and I feel like because social media, and although it is a great thing and a great resource, and all kinds of information is out there. So if someone's sitting there telling you you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong, then you're gonna sit there and think that you're wrong. But what if I told you that you're not wrong? What if I told you that we're all right and we're all wrong at the same time?
Because nobody actually fucking knows, but you know when you know.
Exactly. So what is right for me could be wrong for you, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong.
Like
It just means that it's my right, you're wrong, whatever. But your life is over there, my life is over here, so
it's
I'm
the free will.
And it's free will.
Free will is allowing people to be who they are and accepting them for as that, whatever path. Like if somebody is doing or following a path that you really care and love, it's important to, you can express what you feel. Like nobody's saying not to express who you are and like how, what you believe, and like I genuinely believe that everybody should have that right, you know, that hey, whatever it is that gets you, like allows you to move through life for the good of all and harm to none, keep that in mind.
Exactly.
For the good of all and harm to none, like you will always be divinely protected.
Thank
Because karma, like people use this word karma like in a bad sense, like oh, if they gonna get their karma, they gonna get their karma, but you're gonna get your karma whether it's good or bad.
Right.
It's just the flow of life, the inevitable flow of life. You feel me? I'm getting passionate about this because
It's good, let's get passionate.
yeah, let's get
That's the
passionate
energy.
because you and I have related on this topic a lot with the divine masculine and feminine and balancing that within. So like for you, how has that helped you grow your career?
Well, I mean, like the thing is we have to keep it real. Okay, if you're going into any industry or any sort of like anything that's gonna have to keep you at a consistent, a logical, think about this, business, whatever, you're gonna be operating in your masculine, and you as a woman have to understand that like leading with whatever energy, you know, I'm a woman, so I lead with feminine energy, and being in any sort of industry, it is a masculine thing. So sometimes you are going to have to learn how to have a balanced energy, because being in those industries and also being in the masculine does protect you. And you know, like sometimes it's not pretty. It's not pretty being a woman in a masculine industry. You have to be protected, especially if you're not necessarily trying to like utilize certain things and whatnot, because it's like not fair to you. Where am I going with this? My bad, I'm high as well.
No,
I had my little high moment. But the thing is for me, like I'm trying to show the world that it is possible to be in this industry and still lead with the divine feminine, but have the balance, have the understanding, have the control of both. Because if you have that understanding, then you can very easily like understand what kind of energy is being presented towards you. You feel me? Because yes, it is not pretty sometimes. And sometimes you're like, what? You know what I mean? But like in order for you to know when and how to protect yourself and who to be around, you have to have this understanding of the balance. You have to have this understanding of yourself, because if you don't, you're very easily gonna get affected. You're very easily gonna get, I don't know, but just
It's easy, like, I feel like,
to get like,
follow the trend.
yeah, and like do all these things because that's the norm, that's this, that's that. But
This is the industry, and it's like,
you don't have to do that. You don't have to do all that. You don't. When you can show the world that you can like be in this space that may sometimes have all these negative things, this, that, but still hopefully and authentically lead with your dominant energy while having an understanding of what it is and what is around you, it's a beautiful thing. And that's my whole intention with music, because like I make music to heal the masses. And every time like I say that, everybody's like, I feel like it sounds kind of cliche, like I want to heal the world, because you know, you can't save everybody, but what I can do is I can utilize this pain that I have felt and experienced, and what I know has led me to the point that I'm at now, that I'm continuing to get to. If I can show and represent that pain that can turn into something good. If you listen to my music, like most of my songs, you'll hear like I'm a storyteller. I like to tell stories.
absolutely.
So no matter what, I'm gonna take you from point A to point B, and like I write my music so that we get to a point where it's painful because it's real. That's real as fuck. You're gonna experience pain in this life. That's life. There's ups and downs. But if you can take that down and understand why it's happening in order to bring yourself up, boom, like you got it. Then you're going through the downs so much easier because you're vibing. You're like, okay, cool, it's fine. The shitty thing is happening to me, but like, it's all good. I'm just gonna cry about it a little bit.
I will cry.
I will cry, and it's gonna be
Very
kind of,
cleansing. It'll be very cleansing.
stuff sometimes, but like that's the whole basis for my music. I want to heal the masses. I want to help you go through this shit, because when you really go through this shit and when you have an understanding of the shit, then you start to understand the balance of the energies. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this world is made for you to believe otherwise, that you don't have this internal power. And like being chosen, going back to being chosen, that's the message that we're trying to spread, is you have this internal power. You can do the same things. You can do it, because so many people in this world think that they can't. Like fear is the #1 killer of everything. Going back to this, okay, fear, like you have to go through the hurdles, you have to go through the obstacles, you have to go through it, because that's the journey. And again, leading back to my music, storytelling. Even in all the EDM songs that I'm gonna release next year, and then some of the ones that are already out, it's the same thing. Like it's still a story that I'm telling, and for the most part, I try to include messages that I know need to be out. And that, it just comes to me. Like people ask me, how do I write my music? And I shit you not, I don't know. It just comes to me. Like that, as I hear something and it just comes to me. Because I know certain messages that need to be heard. And like, I think that's why there's sometimes where beats and me don't align. Like if I don't automatically hear something on your song or a beat that gets sent to me, I'm not meant to work on that. Maybe not at that time, because it happens sometimes where like I go back to a song and like sometimes maybe I haven't gone through a certain experience that has allowed me to then write about it, or I'm just not aligned to that moment where that song needs to come out. But I will say that like there's definitely, frequencies involved. There's definitely certain energies involved that happen when like music is being written, and that again goes back to being chosen, because like I shit you not, like sometimes I'm just like, Spirit, are you putting me in this situation just so I can write about it? Like this shit sucks. But we vibing. Yeah. And then I'm over here like, crying in the studio and shit, but I'm like, and then we cool, like we have a whole song and it's fine.
Yeah, no, like just experiencing like her creation process is like Like, I love it. Like,
Yeah, because she hears it from like 0 to 100. Like she hears it from like
it's sometimes
just
the
idea,
crying
mumble.
parts.
I just
It's like the whole process. Like, first step by step is really inspiring because like it's so real and like it's something that, you know, I also experienced in the cannabis industry with having to lead with the masculine energy but wanting to stay in tune with that real divine feminine that we are, that we innately are. Like, it's who we are, you know. Like, it's crazy to think that we have this vortex inside of us, you know, that brings life.
Yeah.
And you know, being able to step into that is really hard when you're the one doing it all, and having to be surrounded by where people in an industry that is very dominant in that sense, where it's like, yo, like, you need to be on your shit, you need to be a fucking hustler, get it together. Like, you have to be your masculine energy in order to provide and protect yourself.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so beautiful when those two energies align, where you can be creative. Like, that's what I learned in the cannabis industry is like, it's so much fun because like, think of the plant itself. It's a feminine energy, like the mamas. Like, it's so beautiful, and each one is so different. And the art of growing and like really tapping into that patience and that, but still being able to create something that's gonna generate you more than enough. You know, like if you stay consistent with anything that you are passionate about, like it's gonna create that, it's gonna provide for you. And like staying in tune with who you are as a woman and that creativity and how you tell your story is like, it's so important. Because me, I write, I'm a writer.
Yeah, same.
Like, I'm a writer and like, I don't, talking like, that's why higher talk, y'all know I started higher talk, like, yeah, my comfort zone. Y'all know, if you've been with me from, what, 2020 I launched? When I was just talking, sharing personal development by myself, because for whatever reason, the world thought like, it was, I don't know what the fuck was going on. Motherfuckers was buying toilet paper and shit. You feel me? But like, motherfuckers wasn't trying to interact in person, so I had to make do because I committed myself, you know. I told myself like, hey, look, like, your story is important, you know, and it should be told. And like, everything you go through, like the dark nights, bro, like, I don't ever talk about this shit, but it's only, I don't talk about it because it's something I've accepted. Like, when we say accepting the past, going back to being chosen, it's like, I don't want to keep reliving that. So like, why am I going to keep telling the same story if that's no longer who I am, you know? So it's like, being able to tap into that and having empathy for that past. Like, I have scars on my wrist, you know, that I can see every day, and it's like, I have to look at that every day, like, and accept, like, yo, like, it's okay. Like, anybody out there who feels like they want to hurt themselves, or they have nowhere to go, or that they're alone, and that the only way that, you know, they will be heard or felt is if they inflict pain on themselves to see if it's even real that they're feeling. You know, like, I know I've been there, and like, you're not alone, and like, the pain that you are going through is so necessary for where you're going, bro. I promise you, once you accept that, like, once I accepted that, like, yo, like, once we go through that, and that pain that we go through, and really having to step into our femininity and cry about it sometimes, and feel that, like, feel that shit, you know, because emotion is just energy in motion. You feel me? Emotion is just energy in motion. So feel what you're gonna feel, and use that masculine energy as a woman. Don't get stuck there, bro. Like, don't get stuck there. And I know it's so hard for us. Like, I know we got it, and like, right now they're attacking our men especially. So it's hard. It's yeah, like, they're attacking our masculine men, and we understand that. We did that, and we have empathy for that, and like, understand sometimes you gotta, when the men are fighting for that 80 and it's 20, like, that's the feminine role, is that 20, right? Like, men provide and protect, and with that safety, what a woman can do is create.
Exactly. And when we have that, we feel like we're flourishing. We feel the need to openly flourish, create, and grow and expand.
And you're not alone, bro. Like, look, like, no.
You are not alone.
You're
Nobody
not.
is alone.
You're
and like
not.
whether you're a man or a woman, like you are important.
Mm.
You are important. You are so important.
You matter, and your story matters, and whatever you're going through right now is as big as it seems. There's something much bigger for you, and
just keep going. Keep
you
going.
Focus on where you're at mentally, spiritually. Focus on rising and getting to that elevated vibration and staying there no matter what's thrown at you, accepting that shit, because you know whatever is happening is meant to happen, so you can learn what you need to learn in order to continue that mission of being chosen.
Yep.
You chose that shit.
Yep.
And look, some people choose dark, some people choose light. We got it's yin yang in everybody. You have a choice. You have a choice because we all got it within us. Like when it comes to protecting ourselves, y'all know, everybody know. You know, and if you don't know, you don't know how to protect yourself, which means rise up, rise, and understand that your energy is sacred as a woman, especially men too. Your energy is so sacred, and your power and all that, and like giving in and feeding into these agendas and stuff like that. It doesn't serve the greatest and highest good of everyone. And we understand that there's an attack on men, and a lot of feminine energies feel like they have to step into that masculine energy to get what they need in life. And yes, we do. We do, and we are. And we motherfucking are, okay? And we are, okay? And
the thing is, like, again,
we got y'all. Y'all go ahead and look, man. We got y'all. Look, we on the back end building empires.
Exactly.
We at home building empires.
Here's the thing. I feel like the world right now is shifting, and it's taking some time, of course, but it is shifting and going, because we shifted back. Like there's people who are operating in their non-dominant energy, and that's not allowing them to flourish. That is keeping them stagnant. That is keeping them low. You know what I mean? So you have to flip the script. You have to understand, what is my dominant energy? How do I lead with that, but then continue to have a balance of both? So when we say there's an attack on men, it's because they want you to be stagnant. They want you to be low. They want you to stay.
They want you to be in your feminine energy.
Yeah, like if you're a man, they want you to be in your feminine energy. If you're a woman, they want you to be so in your masculine that you don't give a fuck. That you know what I mean? And you can't. No.
Now we love y'all.
We love men. We need men. Honestly, it's not a matter of we need each other, but we do. We need each other. It's balance, it's harmony, it's puzzle pieces, okay? We're not equal. We will never be the same. We will never be the same. You are a man, I'm a woman, we're not gonna be the same because we operate differently. We lead with different energies, but we fit like a fucking puzzle piece together, because what you can't do, I can. What I can't do, you can. So we come together and we make it work. And so when we say like, okay, you have to be in your dominant feminine energy, but you also have to utilize this balance of both, it's just a matter of understanding what entails in each energy. And when you do have that understanding, you know how to protect yourself being in one or the other, but not being so excessively in it that you are now stagnant low and you're keeping yourself at a point where you're not supposed to be. It's a matter of creating the power internally for you to excel and continue your mission that is set out for you, whatever that may be, for your highest good and the world's highest good. Whenever we say all this, we mean like no harm to any person, place, or thing, you know what I mean, type shit, because that is what Source wants.
It's integrity. It's morals, it's integrity, and there is an ethical code that I think that we all can relate on. 100%. And I think some people detour from that, you know, based on what's happened and transpired in their life, which is fair. Like, you know, if you were dealt a hand that you couldn't overcome because you didn't have the right information, that's all it comes down to, is not having the right information, right? So it's like, once we understand collectively that it's a balance between both, and it's not an attack on one or the other. It's an attack on the family dynamic.
Yes, the family.
It's the attack on the family dynamic. So if there is no protection, right, and they have these men out here thinking that, oh, I can,
the woman can protect.
Yeah.
No, she can't. I don't want to protect. I'm sorry, but if somebody an intruder comes into the house, you must believe I'm not gonna be the one to
I'm
go.
I'm busting with you. I'm
gonna be like, okay, let me know what you need, but you go ahead and go to him, and then you let me know what you need. I'm gonna be right back, and I'm gonna have your back. I'm gonna have your back, but you go ahead, do what you need to do, babe. Okay, boo, I'm gonna cheer you on. Hey, get his ass, beat his ass.
Yeah, we train. I don't know. My family, we train everybody in that bitch busting. But look, we all brought it up. You ain't coming up in this motherfucker. Like, don't come here. Not here. But it's like it's stepping into that role where it's like in all aspects, not just in like romantic relationships, but like in business and all those things, and like having respect for one another and understanding like, hey, like, okay, you've been dealt a bad hand, but like we've all been dealt a hand that we had to overcome or learn from, or everybody has a life. So it's like,
forgive yourself and move forward.
Yeah.
Because as long as you forgive yourself and then do what is necessary of you to make the steps in becoming better, you can only be better than yourself.
Yeah.
Right? You can only be better than yourself. So forgive yourself for any past transgressions and move forward.
Me versus me mentality. Like, stay focused on where you at, right? Okay, this is where I'm at. Like, okay, where do I want to go? What have I seen? What have I downloaded? And if you haven't seen where your life is meant to be, and you still seeing where you at, it's cool to live in the present moment, but to stay there is crazy.
Yeah.
And crazy is just a loose term that we use for something that, is that we don't understand, right? Because like, I can't understand why you would want to stay in that same place. Because like, even when I was at my lowest of lows, I was like, okay, well, I have two options. I'm gonna live and completely transform my life, or I'm gonna die. And I chose. I literally put myself to the motherfucking test, and I survived. So what did I do? I fucking packed my shit, moved to Cali, didn't fucking talk to anybody, channeled, because I was living in an energy where I couldn't even see whether or not I was in the divine masculine or divine. I wasn't divine at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing divine about me except my soul. But did I know it? No, absolutely not, because I tried to demolish it. And now, that I had that experience, I know my soul. I know who I am. And I'm like, yo, I would never hurt you. But I didn't know. I didn't know anything. And like, that's where it came into place with me, where I took everything out of the equation, bro. I got sober, celibacy, just staying to myself, not giving to myself energetically in any sort of way of that nature. And then on top of it, canceling out the drugs.
Yeah.
I was like, I need clarity. The only way I'm gonna get clarity is not to rely on anything else to give me that clarity. I need to just be sober.
Yeah.
So I didn't even smoke weed. I literally went sober, and then I never had issues with weed. I've always appreciated the art.
Yeah, same.
Of cannabis and the plant in itself and the medicinal benefits of it. So I'm stick to what you know and what you love. And I've always had a passion for cannabis. I've always been a stoner, but I've always been a productive stoner. I've always been athletic. Even when I did drugs, I was athletic. People were like, oh, you did drugs? Yeah, I tried out for the fucking cheer team 4 bars deep, high as fuck. You wouldn't know that. How would you know?
Give me a Z.
Give me a Z. Give me an A. Tripping, bro. What? Not actually 4 bars. Y'all know I'm exaggerating, but I was pretty deep, and you people are like, what? Yes, bro. I genuinely was addicted, and nobody knew. That's the crazy thing about addiction.
Yeah.
And once you overcome that, and addiction can be anything. Like mine was drugs, but like there's something you're addicted to that's clouding your judgment here. So are you gonna get clear, or are you gonna stay clouded? And I chose to get clear. And once I got clear, bro, man, and cannabis, like let's talk about it actually, like the intention behind cannabis and like smoking. Like I don't just smoke because I'm like, oh, I just want to smoke. Like every time I smoke, I'm like, okay, like for me, it's always the intention of slowing down my thoughts, because I think 5 fucking trillion thoughts.
5 million miles an hour. I'm like, and
go mode.
But the thing is, like Brittany said, it's literally like slowing down and then coming into it with intention. When you understand that the plant of cannabis, the marijuana itself, is energy. So it's almost kind of, I don't even want to use the word manipulation of energy, because it's not necessarily per se manipulation. It's just you telling the energy what you want it to do. You know what I mean? Like you telling the plant what you want it to do.
It's praying. It's prayer.
It's prayer. It's you saying, hey, I'm gonna smoke, but I want to get this out of it, this benefit, because I know that you as the plant, so beautiful, so
and give grace to it. Like give
you
thanks.
Know what I mean? Give thanks to the plant. Give gratitude, and it's almost like this envisioning even of just like getting this burst of energy as you smoke. And I feel like women are much more like better at this, because we are so intuitive, because we naturally are so nurture, caring, intuition, you know what I mean? We can really, really harness the energy of this plant, like really, really utilize it. And it's definitely an intention type of thing. But it's also, again, learning how to do that. Because, yeah, I feel like there's some people that will look at you and be like, oh, you smoke. I can't smoke. I can't do anything when I smoke. That sucks for you. Because, sheesh.
I'm sure you probably can't do anything if you don't smoke. You don't got it in you, bro. Like, because if you got it, you got it. It's not like, you know, and maybe it's, some people's brains is wired differently. That's for sure. That's a fact. Like, everybody's wired differently. And, I'm not saying everybody's meant to smoke. I'm just saying that I smoke.
Yep. And like we smoke with intention, and it works for us. So at the end of the day, if it's something that like,
I would recommend it. I'm not saying, look,
do what you want to do. It's whatever your reality is. That's your realities. However you connect to source, that's how you connect to source.
I'm just saying, a lot of y'all motherfuckers would put something up your nose and be like, I ain't gonna smoke no weed. Are you sure? You seem pretty down for anything. So it's just like, like liquor and all that stuff. Like I don't drink. I don't really partake in those things because I already did it and it didn't get me anywhere. It didn't give me no clarity. All I did was it manipulated me, goddamn. Actually,
I do be having drinks in there, but I'm European, so it's in my blood. I got my daddy's genes.
Look, I'm not. Everybody's different. It's just.
But I also understand because like I feel like when I was in high school, I used to just go out. Like we used to go out every weekend and just drink every weekend. And I'm like, oh, you did the shit, so I don't need to continue to do it. And I got shit to do. I gotta make music. I don't got time to go out to the club and go party and get drunk as shit. You know what I mean? Like, y'all be smooth, be safe out there, but.
Oh man, and it's like, when you think about how much money you spend, like, actually on drinks itself, like, okay, if you're gonna go out, make an experience, like, you're gonna spend thousands of dollars.
Where it's like, you don't realize that this thing,
Clouded.
If you are doing something and it has control over you, then you probably shouldn't be doing that thing. So it's like, with weed and whatnot, if I see and start to realize, like, okay, now it's starting to have a little bit of a control over me, take a step back. You know what I mean? Because then
boundaries.
It's like, boundaries. Then it's like, okay, wait.
Not the intention I set forth for why I choose to partake in this activity.
Right.
And so let me take a step back, because now I'm using it to mask whatever I feel like I got going on. So I need to figure out what I got going on.
Yeah.
And the only way I'm gonna figure that out, I need to put this aside, because it's not, like, for me, like, sometimes I go into meditation and a lot of times I like to smoke.
Same.
And that's my meditation time.
It's very connection, again, like,
Just
to me,
there.
connection to source, like, very much so when I meditate, and like, man, like, it really just, allows me to be in this space where I'm really truly like tuned in. Yeah, and it's this wonderful, wonderful feeling, but again, it doesn't control me in that moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm always in control.
I use it. Like, I use it to help. I use it as leverage and momentum to, like, for me, it helps me stay focused on one task at a time, especially being creative. Like, we're already on the next 10 ideas and we still working on these 10 ideas.
Literally.
And still need a fucking batch content for these 10 ideas that we just finished. So it's like, we always on go mode, you know, especially as an artist in the music industry. It's like, people are always asking for your attention.
Oh yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, and I feel like, also learning how to balance all that too, it just.
Use it as a leverage, you know, like
harness it. Harness that power.
Period.
Harness that power. It's a beautiful thing. It's meant to be harnessed. It comes from the earth. You know what I mean? Like, it's a plant at the end of the day, and and it's possible. It's possible to attain these things, and really, really harness that power. That's what it's all about.
Higher talk.
Higher talk. Let's get.
I figured we just share this one because that one's kind of
that one's kind of done.
I would say we could roll another, but hey, Raw, I ran out of cones.
Pick it up with another.
You know, I like the raw naturals. I like raw black actually too. Raw blacks are really cool. I like the classics because I fuck with all y'all shit, to be honest. I just grabbed the classics and this is all they had in that motherfucker. I'm gonna keep it real, but the raw blacks would be fire too because they live it thinner. So it's
Raw just raw.
They raw as hell, bro. Yeah, like it's so important. Like I want, you know, everybody who comes to Higher Talk to really be able to feel this energy here because, you know, like it's not just about like smoking weed, bro. Like it is a lot. It's much bigger than this. Like this shit gets bigger than this. It's way bigger than us. It's bigger than us sitting here smoking and sharing a joint, doing tarot and reading oracle cards and talking about this or that. It's more than that. It's really just educating and sharing what we know and what we've learned throughout this time and in our experiences to get us to where we are.
Yeah.
And we are not done yet. We are only just beginning.
Yeah.
We've only just begun, bro. Like.
There's still so much to be learned, and that's why it's the process of forgiving yourself and accepting the past, because there is still so much to be learned. So it's just like 1 year from 2 years, 5 years from today, I'm probably gonna look back and be like, man, what the hell was I on? But you know what? It's okay, because I was meant to go through the things. I was meant to learn. I was meant to understand. I was meant to share. And like, the thing is, when people see that other people are going through it, it's a relatable type of feeling, and it makes you feel like you're not alone. And then this all goes back full circle to the matter of like, in those moments where you have felt like you're alone, and maybe you want to be away, you don't want to be in this world anymore. Someone else is going through that. Someone else has felt that and has conquered that. So that means you can conquer. Conquered,
bro. We conquered. We warriors in this motherfucker. Recognize that shit, bro. Recognize the warrior within. And you know, I feel like today we had a really good talk, bro.
We did.
We had a really good talk talking about how I'm good off that. The energies and balancing energies and aligning those energies within your creative space and growing your business, you know, in the back end with that balance and being in tune with that. But not only that, like going within and healing wounds, bro, because wounds are where the light shines through. And I'll say this time and time again, wounds are where the light shines through.
Definitely.
Go deep in them motherfuckers, because there's a deeper meaning to everything, right? And if you take that time, like, motherfuckers will know more about a celebrity than they do about their own motherfucking self. That is crazy.
Crazy.
Cannot understand it. Could not understand it, because how do you know something and you don't even know? They just, you know what they want want you to know. You only know what they're telling you to know.
Exactly.
It's weird, bro. You know what you know about you. So why don't you focus on that?
Focus on you, and I promise the answers will come. Like, I think so much of us are like seeking all this, or what do I do, and da.
Don't worry about it.
You know. The thing is, you know. And like when you hear
have
something
the
you
answers.
know, it's like, no, I don't know. No, I promise. Like, you know, you just don't know that you know.
And you haven't gone
You don't
looking.
know that you know, but I promise you know.
You don't know that you know. You haven't gone looking.
You haven't gone looking.
Because
everybody's just wandering.
You don't know what you don't know until you know what you don't know.
And if you don't know, now you know.
You know very well
who you are.
Don't let them hold you down. What? Reach to the sky.
Hey.
You have a goal, but not that many. 'Cause you're the only one.
Deadass.
I give you good and planet Super Nintendo Genesis. When I was dead broke, man, I couldn't picture this 50-inch. But nah, like I really appreciate you for having this conversation and being here and like sharing a part of you and your energy. And I think that I love me some cake. Shit.
Me too.
We don't want to buy that cake. Don't play. Let's love some cakes. Alright, so it's like, it's just know that it's all gonna be transmuted, like, to energies and levels that is only gonna elevate, grow.
What I've learned to like, even like, and I guess this is an advice for anybody who's like going into the industry or like learning to be within the industry, because you are gonna feel that kind of like, not necessarily betrayal, but like maybe that jealous envy, this, that. You're gonna feel these eyes, you're gonna feel the animosity. But like really, at the end of the day, it's just a projection of how people feel about themselves. So don't let it get to you. I mean, I say that and sometimes it gets to me, but like, don't let it get to you. You know what I mean? But don't let it get to you, because it's really not your problem at the end of the day.
Ain't that serious,
And you know what? If you exist in a light that continues to shine bright, the only thing is like your light is just affecting others. And if your light affects others, then that means that they got a problem.
It's moths to the light, bro.
And
you're gonna attract it, and it's unavoidable.
they're just like, you're burning them a little bit, you know what I mean? Because
don't get too motherfucking close.
And it's just like, I'm sorry, I'm just bothering my damn self. And you know what? I'm gonna continue to do that. What I've learned is I'm here, I've got a mission, I'm gonna continue doing that mission. Whoever says what, this, that, I don't care.
No weapon shall prosper, bro. It don't even matter.
I do not care.
What you have to say about me does not override what I have to say about myself.
Exactly, because at the end of the day, I got me. I've taken the time to sit with myself, to be like, you know what? I fucking love you. I love you, bitch. I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch. And that's what I feel.
We canceling out the bitch word.
My bad, but
all 2024. I don't know why people like. Okay, I know
it is
a term of endearment. Don't call me no bitch. Like, I love you. I'm never gonna stop loving you. Why do we gotta say bitch?
Because that's the vine. Like, that's what you said.
I know. It is funny though, because the vine.
But I do use that word, even on myself. But you know what? I don't care. It is what it is.
Everybody got their own vibe.
But at the end of the day, like, again, I'm not gonna care, because it's like my mission is again, I will simply pass away if I don't do this. If I don't do this, I will simply pass away. So whatever anybody says to me, I don't care, because I have a mission. So it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to be.
Nothing's gonna stop.
Moving forward, nothing is ever gonna stop, because I'm not here to live in that energy. I'm here to continue to grow. I'm here to continue to show the world that it's possible. I'm here to heal both myself and the masses, and I'm not necessarily doing that per se as in like I'm the one doing that, but I'm here to spread the message of healing. And if that, you know, allows people to heal, then amazing. I love it. If it doesn't, then at least I'm doing my part and I'm spreading the message. So thank you for allowing me.
Hey, look, it's gonna heal those it's meant to heal.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter who gets it, who doesn't. Like, just fucking share. Just share.
And I will continue to share.
Period.
You know, because this year, this year for me was just like a very eye-opening like year of just like, you're meant to do this and don't care. Like your confidence.
You got this.
Yeah, like your confidence went up. So even in the moments where I feel like, ooh,
am I going in the right direction?
Remember who you are.
Period.
Oh yeah.
Remember who you are.
Remember who you are. That's gonna be, ooh. I'm very excited about that song. Oh.
But we ain't gonna talk about it. So if you can leave Higher Talk viewers, our peoples, the vibes, the gang, with one piece of advice, what would that be?
Don't be afraid. That's it. That's the advice. Don't be afraid. Because, again, like, fear is the #1 killer. And I feel like in order for us to really excel in this world, before we do anything, before we even get to a matter of healing ourselves, you have to get away from the fear of whatever it is that you're scared of. Don't be afraid.
It's like fear of failure. Like, who gives a fuck? If you fucking, whatever the fuck failure is to you, like, and
I'm scared how I'm gonna look, or I'm scared what people are gonna think. Or like,
fuck that outsourced.
Who cares what they're gonna think? All you should care about is what you think.
Validate yourself. If you know you're moving with a pure heart, with pure love, pure intentions, in your highest vibration that you know, because you don't know what you don't know, right? And there's always elevation. It's never gonna stop. Once you start, it's never gonna stop because it's all within, and there's nothing that you can't do.
Right. There's literally nothing that you can't do. Everything is learnable. Everything. And right now, in this day and age, we do have access to a lot of information.
Obviously, fingertips.
Yes. Use your intuition to lead, to allow that information to come to you, whatever it is that you want to, like, learn. But
trust, it will come. It
will come. And you can learn it. And anything it is that you really feel internally like you need to be doing, every one of y'all, I bet you every single one of you has something within you that's like, man, I wish I could do this. I wish, if only I could da-da-da-da-da.
If only. Well, fucking only. Only do that.
So do it.
Only do it.
Figure it out. Okay? Let it come to you. Be like, you know what? I want to do this thing. How do I do this thing? Let the information come to you. I promise you. Things will just...
I promise you go on Google. How do I...
I promise you go on Google.
How do I fill in the blank? You won't get an answer. And that answer will lead you to another answer of a question that you had. And then just jump down the fucking hole. Just jump, bro. Take the leap of faith. Take the leap of faith on yourself. Okay? So, don't be a bitch.
Exactly.
Shut it down. But yeah, so Cakes, where can we find you? How can people find your music?
You can find me on any platform. It's at Cakes Music. I guess if you're looking on Spotify, whatever, it's just Cakes, CVKES. The A is upside down, pronounced Cakes, spelled CVKES. And then on every other platform, like social media, it's Cakes_music. And yeah, I'm on everything.
Tap the fuck in.
Tap in. We have a lot in store for next year. A lot in store for next year. I don't even know what's in store for next year, but I know what's in store for next year. Okay?
It's only just begun.
So,
I'm so happy. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for allowing me here.
Yay! So, thank you guys for being here and tuning in. Welcome back to Higher Talk, guys. And I'm gonna keep it real. I can't promise you how consistent these videos will be, but you're gonna fucking get them. And I got some shit lined up, but like I said, we've been moving in silence. Real silence. So We're gonna keep it that way. We love it. I love this private life.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you are a part of it and to
Thank
be
you.
here and to share this energy and be in this space.
Yes.
Like straight from Chicago, drove from Dallas
Yeah.
to come into the studio today with us. Y'all, like, that's love, real love. We needed to smoke in the bitch, so we made it happen, and we did. We made some pizza.
Bussin',
Bussin'.
and yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Higher top.
Cause I got a fire inside me that cannot be tamed. Yeah. Jump in the vortex of fortune, I don't need a frame.